Hello, friends. What's up? This is Brian, and welcome back to the English Unlocked podcast, your safe space to learn English in a calm, simple, and actually effective way. Now, before we start, let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Have you ever felt like you know English, but when it's time to speak, your brain just freezes? You know words, you've studied grammar, you understand videos and songs, but real conversations? Suddenly, it's panic mode. If that sounds familiar, today's episode is for you, because today I want to show you how you can master English conversations using just 300 essential phrases, not 3,000, not 10,000, just 300. And no, this isn't clickbait. This is how real communication actually works. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why conversations don't require massive vocabulary, what essential phrases really mean, how native speakers reuse the same phrases every day, how you can start sounding natural without trying to be perfect, and exactly how to practice these phrases so they stick. So, relax, get comfortable, maybe grab some water, and let's talk about how English conversations really work. Why conversations are easier than you think. Let's start with a truth that might surprise you. Most conversations are predictable. People don't randomly talk about quantum physics at the grocery store. They talk about how they're doing, what they want, what they need, what they think, what happened, what's going to happen. That's it. Daily conversations run on a small set of repeated phrases, not complex sentences. Think about how many times you hear things like, "How are you? What do you do? That makes sense. I don't know. It depends. That's interesting. Really? I think so. Maybe later. Let me check." These phrases show up everywhere, at work, with friends, online, on calls, in messages. Fluency isn't about being original, it's about being ready, and readiness comes from familiarity. What 300 essential phrases actually means. When I say 300 essential phrases, I don't mean fancy idioms like "the ball is in your court" or rare expressions, long sentences you memorize like a robot. I mean functional phrases, phrases that help you start conversations, keep them going, react naturally, buy time when you're thinking, express opinions, ask questions, and end conversations smoothly. These are the phrases native speakers use automatically, and here's the key idea. You don't build conversations word by word, you build them phrase by phrase. That's how your brain likes it. Let me tell you a quick personal story. When I was learning French, my vocabulary was honestly trash at the beginning, maybe a few hundred words, nothing impressive. But I noticed something interesting. Every time I spoke with locals, I kept hearing the same phrases. "Bonjour, s'il vous plaît. Comment ça va? Je ne comprends pas. Oui, non. Merci, ça va." I didn't know a lot of words, but once I learned how to use those phrases naturally, people stopped switching to English. That was the moment I realized conversations aren't about how much you know, they're about how fast you can respond. And that's what phrases give you: speed. The real problem English learners face. Most learners study English like this: word lists, grammar rules, long explanations, perfect sentences. But conversations don't wait for perfection. In real life, people interrupt, people speak fast, people change topics, people don't care about your grammar. They care about connection. So if your brain is busy trying to build sentences from scratch, you'll always feel slow. Phrases remove that pressure. They give you ready-made blocks you can use instantly. 1. Conversation starters, the door openers. Let's break these 300 phrases into clear categories. First, conversation starters. These are phrases that open the door. Without them, conversations never begin. Examples: "Hey, how's it going? How are you doing today? What's up? Nice to meet you. Long time no see. How's your day been? What brings you here? Can I ask you something? Quick question for you. Do you have a minute?" You don't need all of them. You need a few that feel natural to you. Here's a reflection moment. Which one of these sounds most like you? Choose it. Own it. Use it. 2. Keeping the conversation alive. This is where many learners fail. Not starting, but continuing. You answer a question and then silence. That's because you don't have bridge phrases. Bridge phrases keep the conversation moving. Examples. That's interesting. Tell me more. How about you? What do you mean? I see what you mean. That makes sense. Really? Oh, wow. No way. I get it. These phrases buy you time and show engagement even if you don't fully understand everything. And yes, native speakers use these constantly. 3. Expressing opinions simply. You don't need advanced English to share your thoughts. You need safe opinion phrases. Examples. I think. I feel like. In my opinion. For me. I believe. I'm not sure, but. It seems like. From my experience. Notice something? These phrases protect you. They make your English sound natural and flexible. You're not claiming facts, you're sharing thoughts. That's conversational gold. 4. Agreeing and disagreeing naturally. This is huge for real conversations. You don't want to sound rude or robotic. Here are simple, natural phrases. Agreeing. I agree. Exactly. That's true. I think so too. You're right. Same here. Soft disagreeing. I'm not sure about that. I see it differently. Maybe, but I don't really think so. It depends. These phrases keep conversations friendly, not confrontational. 5. Asking better questions. Good speakers ask good questions. And guess what? Questions follow patterns. Examples. What do you think about? How do you feel about? Why do you think that? What happened next? How did that go? What do you mean by that? Can you explain that? What would you do? You don't need to invent new questions every time. Reuse patterns. Change the topic. Done. Category 6. Buying time when your brain freezes. This category is a lifesaver. Everyone freezes, even native speakers. The difference is they know how to buy time. Examples. Let me think. That's a good question. I've never thought about that. Give me a second. How can I explain this? I'm trying to find the right words. Say one of these, breathe, then continue. Silence feels awkward only if you let it. Talking about daily life. Most conversations are boring, and that's good. Daily life phrases. I usually, I'm working on, lately I've been, right now I'm, these days, on weekends after work I don't really have time lately. Simple, reusable, powerful. 8. Expressing feelings and reactions. You don't need emotional vocabulary overload. Start simple. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm excited. I'm happy about that. I'm worried. I feel better now. That makes me nervous. That sounds great. Native speakers keep it simple. You should too. 9. Ending conversations smoothly. This matters more than you think. Examples. It was nice talking to you. I should get going. Let's talk again soon. Catch you later. Thanks for the chat. I'll let you know. Talk to you later. Endings leave impressions. So where are the 300 phrases? Here's the secret. You don't need a printed list of 300 phrases. You need 50 starter phrases, 50 reaction phrases, 50 opinion phrases, 50 question patterns, 50 daily life phrases, 50 time buying and closing phrases. That's your 300. And most of them use the same core words again and again. How to practice 300 phrases the right way. Do not memorize them like vocabulary. Instead, Method 1, phrase of the day. Choose one phrase, use it 5 times today, out loud if possible. Method 2, Mini dialogues. Create fake conversations in your head. Question, answer, reaction. That's how your brain learns flow. Method 3, shadowing. Listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, or shows. Pause. Repeat the phrases exactly as you hear them. Method 4, replace translation. Stop translating sentences. Start recalling phrases. Your brain learns faster that way. A mindset shift you need to hear. You don't need confidence to speak. You gain confidence by speaking. Start messy. Start simple. Start now. The goal isn't to sound smart. The goal is to sound human. Final reflection questions. Before we finish, think about this. Which type of phrase do you lack most? Starters, reactions, or opinions? Where can you practice short conversations this week? What's one phrase you'll start using today? If you're listening on YouTube, drop a comment. I'm mastering English with 300 phrases. I want to see how many of you are committing to this. Thank you so much for listening to the English Unlocked podcast. This was Brian. Stay consistent, stay curious, and keep unlocking English one phrase at a time. Choose a video to watch next.